Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Weekly Linux and Security News for the 12th of November 2017. I'm recording this news video at 6 o'clock on Saturday evening, and I've been working in the garden all day, so I'm pretty tired out, and I actually started falling asleep, so that's really not good. So if I sound like I'm half asleep doing this video, it pretty much is because I am. Starting in the news this week is a story about Android, that Google are finally patching the crack vulnerability that was discovered a few weeks ago. It was a client-side vulnerability in the key exchange on Wi-Fi connections and the WPA2 Wi-Fi encryption. It affected pretty much every Wi-Fi connected device, so it's not like Android phones are prevalent, are they? Oh wait, they are. Yes. So Google should have got on with this fix, and I've not actually received this fix on my first generation Pixel. Starting to wonder if Google have abandoned support of it already. Not that I'm bitter or anything. So yes, expect to receive these updates very soon, and yeah, I'd suggest applying them because it is quite an easy vulnerability to exploit. But it's not like there are any vulnerabilities in Linux, were there? Oh wait, there were. Oh dear. So don't worry about the 40 Linux USB security holes, and no, that's not a typo. So from the register, the Linux kernel USB subsystem has more holes than a donut shop. Ooh, ouch. Although, donuts. Oh. On Monday, a Google security researcher discovered 14 Linux USB flaws using the syscaller, a kernel fuzzing tool developed by another Google software developer. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. In an email to the register, he said he asked for CVEs for another 7 security vulnerabilities on Tuesday and noted there's something like 40 that have not been fixed or triaged. Although the risk has been downplayed based on the fact you need physical access to the system to exploit it. So yeah, okay, so we have vulnerabilities in the USB system of the kernel, but that cannot be exploited remotely, since you need physical access to insert a malicious USB device. Well, I'm sure we can look forward to receiving a fix at some point, knowing that open source is very quick to patch. Mesa 17.2.4 is now available in the XWAT updates PPA for Ubuntu 16.04 and 17.10. This is the news from Timo Alatonin's weblog. So Mesa 17.2 was released a few weeks ago, but it has now got bumped to the latest stable release. The version has also been uploaded to respective proposed queues as it is part of the hardware enablement stack for Ubuntu 16.04.4, which will be released early next year. Kubuntu have uplifted the version of Plasma to 5.11.3 in the backports repository, so this is for Kubuntu 17.10. Yes, they did that just before I released my video on how to install the backports repository for Kubuntu. Yeah, I recorded a video a couple of days prior to release, so yeah, I suppose these things happen. From Cyberscoop with an extra large font, Google Chrome introduces new security measures against malvertising. An interesting concept, this one, because they're going to block redirection of iframes. Yeah, this is one thing about malvertising, is that it tends to load a very small script initially from a malicious advert, and then it loads another or larger script from a completely different site. So yeah, it tries to force your system to different web pages in order to try and run the exploit on your system, and then attempt to download a larger second stage payload to keep it permanently on your system. So yeah, this is a possible defense mechanism, is again to block the initial redirect unless there's consent from the user or website owner. Okay, so this will be ready for Chrome 64, which is due in January 2018. And there's also some news about Firefox. So Firefox 57, good news, it's nippy. Bad news is it'll trash your add-ons. Oh great. Yeah, one unique feature of Firefox is the variety of add-ons available. I suppose there's also a lot of add-ons available for Chrome, but yeah, that was one of the early features of Firefox, that you could customize it well beyond what you could do with Internet Explorer. So Mozilla plans on the 14th of November to start rolling out Firefox 57, a massive update that might send many of its users scurrying back to the long-term support release. The good news is it's faster, quite noticeably so, thanks to the improvements to what Mozilla calls Project Quantum. Quantum encompasses several smaller projects in order to bring more parallelization and GPU offloading to Firefox. That's developer speak for using more of that really fast GPU you've got, And again, the results are noticeable, and it also marks a major change on the extensions. So the traditional legacy ones that we're all used to, and the web extension variety that are more like what Chrome uses. So Firefox 57, as of Firefox 57, legacy extensions will no longer work. If you're lucky, your favourites will already be available as web extensions. So there may be some alternative extensions available, but if an extension is no longer supported, then you're pretty much tough luck. There's a website, Are We Web Extensions Yet?, which tracks the most popular add-ons and can point you to replacements where they exist. It's got a written article on how you can get Firefox Quantum for Ubuntu right now, if you want some of that super fast speed. So yeah, it's beta version at the moment, well, although not long left for the final release, I guess, so yeah, it's up to you if you want to add this PPA to your system and replace your current version of Firefox, well 56 in this instance, to 57 Quantum. Some development news for Krita, and this sounded quite interesting as well. They seem to be going down the parallelization route, same as Firefox. So they did a survey of what is your biggest gripe with Krita? Interacting with the users here, what don't they like? Bugs and lag. Lag being most prominent. So they're talking about multi-threaded performance using all your CPUs. For pixel brush engines, 80% of all brushes that are made. A lot of speed optimizations with dab grouping for all brushes, and more caching to speed up rendering across all brushes. So there's a video of it and a little performance benchmarking in a GIF or GIF, depending how you would like to pronounce that word. So very nice. It just looks a bit faster there, so I'm not so experienced with Krita, but all these enhancements do tempt me towards it. So I've also got an option to show thin grid lines around pixels if you zoom in enough, a live brush preview, an isometric grid, and a few other changes. And for this week's stupid news comes from Pseudo-Satirical. So yeah, this is just a satirical made-up article, but sysadmin discovers backup server stuck in recovery prompt since 2010. A system administrator for a software company recently discovered a backup server that had been stuck in the recovery prompt since 2010. I was looking for a spare hard drive and noticed the extra box at the back of our server rack. I was halfway through unscrewing the case when I noticed it was still plugged in, says the sysadmin on Friday. Further investigation reveals that the server named Cameron and that it was last powered on in 2010. All of the servers that it was supposed to be backing up have since been decommissioned. Oh, well, that's good then. We actually have a spreadsheet of servers somewhere and it was listed as active. Apparently nobody in the tech team knew that it was missing. Upon finding a VGA to HDMI converter and connecting to the machine, the sysadmin discovered that the server was stuck in recovery prompt. Please give root password for maintenance. However, nobody in the company could remember the root password. I think it had something to do with Avatar, and we already tried a couple of those options listed there. But no joy. He simply shrugged and pressed Ctrl-D, the server successfully resumed booting, and after a mind-boggling 7 years, finished. Well, a boot up time to rival Windows XP. Truly remarkable. Minutes later, several hundred emails of failed backup jobs flooded the administrator's inbox. Ah, well, that'll teach you. This sets another record for Linux as having the second longest boot time next to GNU Herd. Well, that's a week of Linux and security news. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all later.